Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And we've got great weather ahead. There's not really a whole lot that's going to be happening in the area from northeastern Virginia to southern New England. We have a dry flow that is coming down from the north and northeast. And other than an upper air trough that is going to be swinging through here late tonight and into tomorrow that might throw a few clouds into the mix, we don't have any issues of importance and no rain in the forecast for probably the next, at least the next 5 or 6 days. High temperatures today are going to be mostly in the middle 70s from northeast Virginia to southern New England. The dew point's very low. Thursday's highs will be in the upper 60s and lower 70s, except maybe pushing up to about 75 or so as you go further south down into southern Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia. Thursday will be, again, upper 60s and lower 70s. And then we're going to start to warm up beginning on Friday with temperatures in the 70s. Saturday we'll be back up into the upper 70s and lower 80s. And then we'll push the envelope a little bit higher with low to mid 80s on Sunday. So we take a look at the satellite this morning. You can see Hurricane Humberto with its 90-mile-an-hour winds and its well-defined, though somewhat ragged eye that is pushing on to the east-northeast slowly but surely, and probably going to start closing in on Bermuda or close to Bermuda on Wednesday. In the meantime, if you look at the clouds on the loop, they are going, what clouds there are across Maine, moving north to south. So that really kind of describes the upper air flow here, which is coming down from Canada, and also signifying that there's some kind of deep trough that is sitting somewhere to the east of Nova Scotia. So with that flow, of course, Humberto is moving out to the east-northeast and really no impact to us. But in the meantime, we're just nice and dry. And by the way, except for just a little bit of patchy cloud cover that kind of marks the frontal boundary, this dry air is going to get pulled all the way down into the southeastern part of the United States. September is my favorite month of the year because you can get into these really long stretches of great weather, and that's exactly where we are at the moment. So when we take a look at the overall upper air pattern over the next 7 days or so, actually we'll go a little bit further. I'm going to use the European model today. And here's our upper trough that went by yesterday and is strengthening off the New England coast. And, of course, that is what is picking up Humberto. And then you see here on Wednesday, when you look at these upper air winds, they are just pretty much running down the eastern seaboard. So that's dry air that comes southward. Here's your hurricane. And, of course, you've got this upper low sitting south of Greenland that's continuing to pull this away on up toward the northeast. And it gets wrapped up a little bit as some energy drops down off the well off the mid-Atlantic coast. But eventually that all gets kicked out of the way. And we are still under this northerly flow as we head into the weekend. So we're looking good. Upper high in the east for Sunday, and then it flattens out, and we get another weather front that probably comes through at some point early next week. It doesn't really look like there'll be much with it because guess what? That keeps on moving, and we have another trough that will be approaching the east later next week. So it's a weather pattern that is not conducive to much, if any, rainfall going forward. And here's what it looks like on the surface map. I'm going to just bring this eastern view up here. And let's run it back. Trying to get my head in gear here at this hour of the morning. But there you have it. That nice high just kind of builds down. The onshore flow extends all the way down into Florida. And there's your hurricane finally getting kicked away to the northeast. So it's nice and dry. We have another tropical system that models are picking up on east of the Bahamas that approaches late in the weekend. That doesn't really that looks like it'll probably recurve with another trough of cold front that's coming through here. Here's the next front that comes through on Monday. Very little with it, and then it goes on by, and then you have another high that builds on in for a good chunk of next week. So it's a fairly calm pattern. There's not too much happening. So here's what I suggest. I suggest that you enjoy this great September weather as the last week of summer continues. This weekend is technically the last weekend of summer, and autumn arrives on Monday. So have a good day. Thanks for being here on Weather in 5. Look for website posts later today. And, of course, we'll have our regular YouTube live stream tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.